All right, it's time to finally bring Gigabit Grandpa and Grandma to the stage. Gigabit Grandpa, welcome to the Melanin Initiative podcast. Thank you for participating in our rapid fire question segment. We know you're busy, so let's just jump right in. As you know, many older adults feel nervous or unprepared for healthcare visits. Based on your experience, how can AI help someone like George plan their questions, remember their medications, stay focused, ask the right questions, and not get overwhelmed?
Hey, thanks for inviting me to the show. I had to put on my best clothes for this one. Sitting with a nurse practitioner, it feels like they've got 10 minutes to cover 30 minutes of info. My hearing isn't perfect, and I don't want to nod along just to get out the door. That's where AI steps in. It listens while the NP explains my meds, then spits out a simple summary. None of the medical jargon. It also nudges me with the questions I'd planned. What side effects should I watch for? Or which test matters most this month? Instead of walking out second-guessing what was said, I leave with a clean checklist on my phone. That makes me feel like I'm running the show, not playing catch-up.
I couldn't agree more. There's so much information exchanged during a visit, so much to follow up on that it's very easy to get overwhelmed. And we want to avoid that feeling of playing catch-up, especially when wasting time is not an option. Gigabit Grandma, we're so excited you could also join us. Curious, what advice do you have for our older adults after the visit? So after seeing their healthcare provider, how can AI help someone keep track of the instructions, medications, and follow-up appointments so nothing is forgotten?
First of all, thanks for having us on the podcast. I might have been a little late. I was having to get my hair did. After the visit with my physician associate, the hardest part isn't sitting in the office. It's remembering everything once we're back home. That's where AI is such a blessing. It takes the instructions from the visit and turns them into a simple, step-by-step list we can actually follow. No digging through papers or wondering, what did they say about this pill? AI reminds me when to take my medications, which lab work is due, and even pops up gentle nudges about my next appointment. It's like having a friendly assistant who never forgets and makes sure nothing slips through the cracks. That way, I can focus on living my life, not stressing about what I might have missed.
That was a great list of examples. And just like you want to stay focused, as a clinician, we also want to be able to focus more on our conversation with you than documenting. And now there are so many AI tools that allow us to do just that. Now, Gigabit Grandpa, for someone who has never used AI, can you explain in simple words what AI is and how it's different from using Google?
All right, let me break it down. Think of Google like the world's biggest library. You ask it a question, and it hands you a stack of books and says, here you go, dig through these. AI is more like a smart friend sitting next to you. You ask the same question, and instead of handing you piles of stuff, it actually reads the books for you, pulls out the answers, and explains it in plain English. So the difference? Google gives you links. AI gives you answers. Google is search. AI is conversation. And for folks like me who don't want to spend hours clicking around, AI feels a whole lot more like a helper than a homework assignment.
I love how you explained that, and you made it very simple. Google gives you links and AI gives you answers. And as Brad discussed, answers that you then have to go and fact check. Now, speaking of that conversation that you were talking about, what are prompts in AI and how can older adults use them to get helpful information for their health?
Prompts are just the words or questions you type in to tell AI what you need. Think of it like giving directions to a helpful friend. The clearer you are, the better the answer you'll get back. For older adults, prompts can be as simple as, explain my blood pressure medicine in plain English. Remind me what foods are good for lowering cholesterol. Help me make a list of questions to ask my doctor about my knee pain. You don't need fancy tech talk. Just write it like you'd say it out loud. The AI will turn that prompt into advice, reminders, or even a simple checklist. It's not about being perfect. It's about asking for help in your own words and letting the AI do the heavy lifting.
The heavy lifting, I like how you frame that. Healthcare visits can have so much stress associated with them. As the patient, you're already doing a lot of heavy lifting. Like having a free tool like AI can help reduce some of that overwhelm for you and your family. Now, let's talk about what worries a lot of people, and for good reason: safety and privacy. Some people worry about sharing health information with technology. What simple steps can they take to stay safe and protect their privacy?
I get it. When I went to see my nurse practitioner the other day, handing over your health info to some computer can feel a little sketchy. But here's the deal. You don't have to share your whole life story for AI to be useful. Keep it simple. First, never type in things like your social security number, full address, or insurance ID. That's like leaving your wallet on a park bench. Second, use secure apps that are made for healthcare, not just random websites you stumble on. And third, if you're worried, keep your prompts general. Instead of saying, "I, George Smith, take this exact prescription," just ask, "What are the common side effects of blood pressure meds?" Think of it like talking to a neighbor. You'll share that your back hurts, but you're not handing them your bank account. Same goes for AI. Share just enough to get help, but keep the sensitive stuff locked up tight.
That was very good advice. When you say secure apps, you're talking about HIPAA, which stands for the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It is a federal law that was passed in 1996, designed to protect sensitive patient medical and personal health information from being disclosed without the patient consent. That means using AI to discuss patient information without your permission. And for our healthcare providers who are watching and using or considering using AI, even if you're a student, actually, when you're handling patient health information, you want to look for tools that are HIPAA compliant and designed to protect patient data. You should also get their consent. It is mandatory to keeping the public safe and keeping your license. Now, Gigabit Grandma, how can AI help older adults feel in control of their health instead of nervous or unsure about using technology?
Sweet friends, I know a lot of you worry about sharing your health information with technology. And that's a good instinct. Our health is personal, and we want to protect it. But here's the encouraging part. You don't have to share everything for AI to be helpful. Think of it like baking a pie. You give the recipe the basics: flour, sugar, apples. But you don't have to hand over grandma's secret spice blend. With AI, it's the same. You can ask, "What are common side effects of blood pressure medicine?" You never have to type your full name, social security number, or insurance ID. Here are 3 simple steps I follow myself. Don't share private details like your address or ID numbers. Use apps and tools that are made for healthcare and have good reputations. Keep your questions general, enough to get clear answers without giving away more than you need. AI can be a gentle helper, reminding you about medications, summarizing instructions, even explaining medical terms in plain English. As long as you're wise about what you share, you can feel safe and supported. Remember, your privacy matters, and you can use AI to make life easier without giving up your peace of mind.
While we're offering education to empower our viewers, we want to make sure that they do that in a way that is safe, and you've made it easy by sharing those 3 simple steps. Gigabit Grandpa, how can AI tools help people who have trouble hearing, seeing, or dealing with bright lights or loud sounds like George?
Now, this one hits close to home. A lot of us, myself included, don't hear as sharp as we used to. Or those bright lights and loud noises can make doctor visits feel like a rock concert we didn't buy tickets for. That's where AI can really step up. If your hearing isn't great, I can transcribe what the doctor or nurse practitioner is saying in real time, so you can read along instead of guessing what you missed. If your eyesight gives you trouble, the same I can read those instructions back out loud, slow, and steady. No squinting at fine print on a pamphlet. For those of us who get overwhelmed by too much noise or light, I can help us ahead of time. It can suggest calming strategies, remind us to bring sunglasses or headphones, and break down the visit afterward into a checklist. Bottom line, AI doesn't just save time, it gives us back control. Instead of feeling rushed, confused, or overloaded, we walk out with confidence knowing we've got a helper that remembers everything for us.
Thank you for sharing that and for being so transparent about your own sensory changes. Now, this question is for you, Gigabit Grandma. If someone has trouble using AI at first, what help or resources are available so they can keep learning and using it well?
I know for many of us, the thought of using new technology, especially something called AI, can feel a little intimidating. It's easy to think, what if I press the wrong button? Or, what if it's too complicated? But here's the truth. AI can actually make us feel more confident, not less. Think of AI as a patient helper who never gets tired of our questions. You can ask it, explain my new medicine in plain English, or remind me of the steps my doctor gave me, and it won't roll its eyes or rush you along. It just calmly gives you the answers you need in words you understand. AI can also turn a long, confusing doctor's visit into a simple checklist. When to take your pills, which test is next, and when to come back. That way, you're not relying on memory alone. And here's the best part. You don't have to know all the techie stuff. You just talk to it in your own words, the same way you'd ask a friend or neighbor. That's how AI helps us feel in charge of our health. Steady, prepared, and never left in the dark.
That's exactly what we aim to do here. Take complex medical information and explain it in simple terms. You did just that. We don't want our patients to feel left in the dark either, because ultimately, they are the ones managing their health. That means taking their medications, choosing the right foods to eat, making that appointment with their therapist, cutting back on smoking. Our health is our responsibility, and AI can help us keep track of everything. Now, as we get close to wrapping up, can you give us a simple example from George's story where AI made a real difference before, during, and after a healthcare visit, showing that it helps people stay connected with their healthcare team?
Let me share a little story about George. Last month, he had an appointment with his physician associate about adjusting his blood pressure medicine. Now, George gets a bit anxious in those bright exam rooms, and sometimes he doesn't catch every detail. Before the visit, AI helped him write down 3 important questions. What are the side effects? When should I take it? And how will we know if it's working? That list gave him confidence walking in. During the visit, while the physician associate explained things quickly, AI quietly captured the instructions. Later, when George couldn't remember the medical terms, the AI explained them back in plain English, slowly and clearly. And after the visit, AI reminded him to pick up the prescription, take it at the right time each day, and schedule a follow-up check-in. It even gave him a gentle nudge to jot down how he was feeling so he could share that at his next appointment. For George, AI wasn't just a gadget. It was like having a calm, steady partner in the room. It made sure he left that visit feeling connected to his healthcare team, not lost or left behind.
Now, Gigabit Grandpa, any closing thoughts for our audience?
Well, first of all, I have to lead with a shameful plug. There's always 5-Star Solutions Jacks that can provide great resources. Let's cut through it. Nobody's born knowing how to use AI. If you get stuck, here's what you do. First, most of these apps have help buttons, FAQs, or short videos built right in. Don't skip them. They're there for a reason. Second, YouTube is like the world's free classroom. You type in the tool's name and your question. Boom, someone's already made a tutorial. Third, ask your people, a grandkid, a friend at church, even your neighbor who's always tinkering with gadgets. They'll usually be glad to give you a quick walkthrough. And here's my favorite, just keep pressing buttons. Seriously, you're not gonna break it. Try a simple question, see what it does, then try again. Remember, the help is out there. The learning curve isn't as steep as you think, and the more you play with it, the faster you'll feel like you're driving, not riding shotgun.
Thank you both for sharing your time and talent, for participating in our rapid fire questions, and helping us celebrate Older Adult Awareness Month, a new tradition that we plan to continue every year. Now, I'm going to get back over to my interview with Brad.